There's a bright side somewhere. There's a bright side.
Hello. Hope your day has gone well. This is a message for Wednesday night. Again, regret that we will not be together, but at least we will be able to continue doing this. I'm going to show you a picture here. At least I hope this comes through when I do the video editing. Check out this plant. If you're not sure where that is, I suspect some that maybe you've done some work around the building will, but this is a plant. Kelly thinks it may be an elm tree. I really don't know. Doesn't matter all that much. But it keeps trying to grow over the step that leads into the pantry. In other words, to get into the pantry door, you now have to step over this thing. And if you, well, we have worked and worked and worked to try to eradicate this thing and have not had much luck. In fact, yesterday, Kevin Cordell came by and even tried poisoning it. So hopefully that worked. But I've had a lot of people coming in lately, in fact 2 today, that have been using the food pantry, so I decided to go ahead and cut it back. So hopefully that poison Kevin sprayed will get down to the roots and get this thing killed. But I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't think it's gonna work, but we'll see. Anyway, it's just a very persistent plant, whatever kind of plant it is, and it just keeps on growing even though we've tried pulling it up and all the other things. And what I really want to do is just for your Wednesday night here is just kind of give you a reflection on, there really are some things that we could learn from this plant, aren't there? One of the reasons why it grows so funky and off at that angle that it does is that it's just trying to reach the sun. Its root is down under one of the bushes, the hedges that are there by that door. And so to reach the sun, it has to grow out that way. And it was just, I don't know, as I was just thinking about this plant, it's one of the things that I was pondering, is it is a persistent little fella. In fact, stubborn almost might be the way to describe it. And one of the things that's stubborn about is that it keeps wanting to point itself and get in the sun. And I can't help being a preacher here, but isn't that what we need to be doing with our lives, is trying to get ourselves where we're facing the sun, S-O-N, Son of God, Jesus. In other words, if you look at Jesus, one of the things you realize is that if, like Gospel John, he has all those I am statements. I am the life, I am the truth, I am the way, all those types of things that he does there. And one of the things that we really need to be doing with our life is making our way into the sun as much as possible. Okay, maybe that's a little cheesy for you, I don't know, but I'll just start there. But the real lesson I want us to get out of this is that in life, for us and for a plant, persistence and stubbornness are important. Now, I always have to clarify these things to feel right about saying it. Now, being stubborn for the wrong thing is not a good thing. If you're being stubborn because you're wrong and you don't want to admit you're wrong, that's bad. In other words, stubborn and persistence can be, good or bad depending on what you're being stubborn or persistent for or towards. So for what we're talking about today, it's really a matter of being persistent and stubborn for the right things. And that's what I keep noticing about this little plant as I cut him up today. Our passage for tonight comes from Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And the reality is that it is easy to get weary. It is easy to get tired. One of the things I've reflected on during this shutdown of everything is for our church members that are extroverts, this has probably been very hard on them. I think it has been hard on some anyway. The introverts are probably loving it, but the extroverts are really having a hard time because you can't really socialize and be out and do as much. And, don't get weary. In other words, one of the things that I was reflecting on and thinking about is that even with the midst of all this going on, I still see good things happening. I can't see thanks enough to those that have stopped by and brought food for the pantry. It has just been great. We have seen a definite increase in the people coming to the pantry and the food there, and Tank has done a good job of keeping it stocked. But we've also had people that have just showed up and said, "Look, here's some food." And we've been able to keep the pantry stocked and some extra things in there and some treats, and that's been great. There's some good going on that way. There's some that have been making it their point to write notes. They've just been writing notes to people in the congregation, and that has been great. As one who has received those, that has been great to see. Thank you so much for doing that. There's ways of encouraging and not letting our weariness and our frustration of not being able to be together overcome us. There are those that make the calls and talk to people, just checking up. Man, that's been great. I've even been surprised with us giving away the free pizza to people that could use it. How many people have been generous to help us out with that? It's just been amazing to watch and see the generosity that is in the church and in the community. It's not just church members that have been helping with this. So we continue to do that. And I'm sure there are things going on that I am not aware of that are good and that are there. And so, again, the main thing I wanted to remind us of tonight is that we just don't want to become weary in doing good. And I think at times like this, it can take a toll on us. One of the things that I just wanted to encourage you about is if you may be feeling a little frustration or tiredness over this, what's going on, ask yourself, what can I be doing that would be good? What can I do so that I don't get weary in doing good and I can keep some things going? Because I promise there's something you can do. And it reminds us in this passage that there is a harvest that will come. And the reality is you get back what you plant in life. You get back. Whatever you sow, that's what you reap. It's just a very simple principle with a fundamental and very profound truth. You get back what you sow and you get back what you give. So I wanted to do just a quick message for you guys tonight and just remind us, do not become weary in doing good. Reach for the sun, S-O-N. Do not get discouraged, and if you will do that, be ready for the harvest that will come. Thanks.
There's a bright